For music listeners, streaming has been a major breakthrough. Consumers no longer need to download files with this new format, but instead can simply listen to music over a variety of platforms for free. However, streaming does not seem to be benefiting the music industry. In countries like Sweden and Norway, streaming has become profitable for musicians. But in the United States, musicians are still weathering the storm of another new technology. Defender reporter Connor Vandegrift has the story.
Just as the download was a transition from the CD, streaming music, or delivering sound without the need to download files of different audio formats has taken the industry by storm, raising perhaps the most important question to ask: why pay for music when you can stream it for free?
With my head pressed to the backrest, and my fist pressed to the dash.
You know, as an artist, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you want people to listen to your music. And to me, that's the exciting part, is people listening and, you know, experiencing what I want to put out there, but also being paid for that.
In the midst of creating his first EP, Vermont-based singer-songwriter Troy Millette faces a difficult decision by means of reproduction.
Over 75% of artists opt out of creating the physical CDs of their work, which was a little bit shocking to me, but at the same time, I feel as though the physical CDs are almost a waste in our modern society, you know, unless you're a diehard fan.
Maybelline. For the longest time, there was value in an album, a long playing collection of songs that had some sort of coherence. Didn't have to be a theme or a rock opera a la Tommy, but there was a connection between the songs. If nothing else, you're capturing a moment when this artist was in the studio for a few weeks or a few months, and you're getting that perspective.
Bill Ellis is an assistant professor of fine arts at St. Michael's College.
Why not just sneak into movie theaters and watch a film for free without paying for it? Why do any of the other things we pay for?
Today's new technology has come with a fall in recording revenues to less than $7 billion, according to RIAA, a recording industry trade group.
People spend more money on the devices to listen to music than they do the music, right? Crazy amounts of money on the devices that stream and provide music, and yet we don't want to pay a penny for the music itself. There's something wrong with that. And I'm as guilty as everyone else. I use Spotify lists in my music history courses. It's very convenient, very easy to do. Do I feel a pang of guilt? Yes.
In terms of who creates the music, the musicians are not getting anything out of this new paradigm.
So that's a problem at some point, because you have people who are just going to want to stop making music. It's certainly the record companies and the CEOs and the lawyers have no problem getting compensated. Artists never seem to, get there. David Lowery, last year he wrote that piece and sort of started the talk about what we're talking about here, that he got his royalty statement from Pandora for Low, which was a huge 90s hit, sold millions of records, and Pandora, it had garnered millions of listens, and he got a check for less than $20. That's crazy. There's something wrong with this model.
However,
I think there's definite benefits to streaming.
Nick Ferguson is a DJ for St. Michael's College radio station 88.7 The Mic.
It's accessible to everyone. As a DJ, I need streaming, or else I'd be searching around on YouTube and there'd be blank spaces in between what I'm looking up, and the quality might not be consistent. It has a lot. And this accessibility that we have, it allows people to listen to bands they would never listen to.
According to Bill Ellis, what's going on today is just as much a fundamental shift in the way of doing things as it was at the very birth of the recording industry.
There was that big shift that went from sheet music and piano rolls and people playing live to all of a sudden you have this shellac thing that could replicate a performance. And that was totally mind-blowing to everybody back then. There's always going to be great artists willing to do things differently and embrace the technology and sort of find artistic ways to push the envelope. I'm not worried about that. There's a bunch of great new artists doing that already.
Although the future of the music industry seems bleak in the midst of this evolution, There is hope for the industry, as it looks like the switch to streaming will not devastate its revenues entirely, like the shift from physical albums to digital downloads did. While Spotify is on the verge of becoming responsible for the biggest slice of our digital sales, musicians can only hope that they will be compensated for their work. For Defender Radio, this is Connor Vandegrift.